Hey there, I'm JB, and in today's episode of Cities Skylines we're going to add in public transportation. Meanwhile, we are building this area right down here. The public transportation is really going to be needed once we want to add this section in right down here. Of course, it's going to be very busy. I already seen a little bit of complication right down in here, so let me see if I can fix this by just changing this traffic light into, move or don't move at all, and then just speed this up. Alright, finally. It took a little while, but the traffic seems to be cleared out for right now. Now, the one thing that we could do is, of course, see where all the traffic is coming from. So we're going to just click on this guy right down here, and we're gonna get all kinds of lines, something that I didn't really use back in the days. But let's take a little look. It seems like there is a lot of traffic coming from this area, some traffic from this area, and so on, a little bit of here, and some is coming from the town itself. So in this case, that's why I would like to add in public transportation. Now the first one that we are going to add in is of course a little bit of training, and which in this case I want to add in a train station right down here at the stadium. Now, I'm going to wonder, is it going to be handy to place this at a cross section or just a little bit from it? Now, I know there's this bridge in the way, and I'm thinking about it. We're also going to need to get this guy into the ground. So my guess would be right down here. Now, of course, we're also going to add in metro station, we're going to add in buses, and we're just going to work with the sections that we have for right now. Each section will get its own public transportation line towards another area. So in this case, let's just first see if I can, get this thing into the ground, at least. Yeah, okay, we do have a little bit of spacing, so I would like to have it at least, maybe like that, and then go down. Okay, I can just better listen to this right down here and just max it out /ish, like that. Okay, beautiful. So on the other side, the same thing should be the case. Can I please just about it? There we go, just about it. Okay, cool. So this guy is right down in here, and yeah, we got enough space for buses, metro line. Even though I'm going to have to think, how am I going to do the buses, because having too much bus traffic down here might not be the smartest. Having at least one bus coming here might be one of the smarter things to do. Alright, so in this case, that is the first one. Now the second one, I've been thinking that I would like to have it like a little bit central. So it's going to be or either right down here or right down here. Or what I'm going to need to do is place one down here and then have one /is right down here before we moving it towards that area. I think it might be a better idea to do so, and of course this is all going to be a test to see. Now this requires a road, and I have a little bit of an idea what I would like to do, so we're going to just make use of a one way, I wanted to say. I just see, no, okay, it needs to be just back off one more, but before it was here, so I'm gonna add it right down here and just see if this will fit in. There's a reason why I wanted to have it tied up, because I want to have a separate, what is stopping? Oh god, this is going to be, oh, there is a whole building on the other side. Yeah, one more. I'm afraid that it's a just about type of deal. Yep, just about. So we could place this, and then we need to think like, what are we going to do with the buses? Because the problem I'm having is I cannot just easily add in a road down here. I believe I can, but as you can see, we got this pillar down here. Now I can move a pillar a little bit offside, but I cannot move a pillar for this length right down here. But what I might be able to do is, first of all, let's just fix this road, right? Because this would be kind of even out. I just want to have like some nice roading before a junction pops up. And then what I can be doing is I'm just going to move this guy, for example, right down there, this guy right down there, right? Now I'm going to... I wish I thought about this a little earlier before placing the pillars. Okay, let's just remove both of these guys. So what I originally wanted to do is I'm just going to add in an extra road. This extra road is going to be used for the bus. Alright, beautiful. This should work out. Now I want to bring back a highway, and please, for the love of God, cooperate with me. I'm not really sure why this pillar is still standing here. There you go. I can max it out like that. Please max it out. Of course not. You're being troublesome. But just other way around. No, of course not. You're being troublesome. Okay, so I get the deal here. This maybe in real life might be a little bit too much. Now I could just say, let's delete both of these and just add it in later on by just doing it like that. Get rid of this pillar. Place it like that, and then we could just, you know, grab this guy and maximize it this way. Beautiful. And this one. Alright, fantastic. Okay, I like that. Now, of course, it's gonna be handy to just place this guy back. And there we have it. Beautiful. Alright, so next thing next is going to be placing down this bad boy. Now, let me just see. We got crosswalks down here, we got crosswalks down there, and I want to kind of slash is a care that we can, let me see, how big is this guy? It's not too big, so what I can do here is make sure that it looks nice. Saying let's place this guy here, and then we should have space for this guy. Yeah, we got plenty of space, so we can just place this guy one off. Going to be perfect. Alright, so that decision has been made. You can place like a bus stop there. Alright, and so I have taken care of the first part of the train track. Now I do have to say that once Cities Skylines 2 is out, I'm going to do things a bit different, which I hope we can get the train track very early on to the game. Now the thing that I was kind of thinking about was more of a metro line type of deal, which would be above the ground instead of underneath the ground, because making this train track right now into the city is a lot more difficult to make it look realistic. So let me just show you around and show you what I've done and what I mean with it. So later on we're going to do this track all the way up to there, right? That's going to be a fun part, and we're going to do that realistic because we have the opportunity to do it realistic. Now coming into this town, things become a little bit difficult. First of all the roading. In this case, the roading is fine. Now we need to go underneath the ground in order to, you know, connect up to the station. We cannot go over the highway because that would be like too elevated. That's the whole thing with the trains. Trains up and down is one of the things that is very difficult because it slows down the speed, it slows down the progress, and they rather would not do that, right? And with metro lines it's different. Now in order to get to this part, we had to go right down here underneath, and I will just show you if I can page down to be this guy. Alright, so we're coming up here and going around and connect it up. Very simple, right? It works. A little bit underneath the ground is okay. Then for the other side, we come out here and then go here to get back onto it if we need to go that way. Now I also do know the train track have like a one-way type of deal, but I just feel like I just want to make it both ways in order to reduce the amount of traffic going onto these rails. Now of course what I also had in mind is I wanted to make some side tracks here in order to go all the way up here, and this is actually the part that I kind of do not like it, but just for the sake of traffic I've just made it like this. Now I could have maybe gone like above the ground and tried to, you know, figure it all out and then make a bridge here and then make a bridge there. That would be more realistic, but this is something I would like to keep in mind for the future with Cities Skylines 2 once we build like a mega city. This is all just a test, and it's a lot of fun to mess around with, right? Now for above the ground it just continue, and this is actually the part what I mean with like it's difficult to do because you don't have like special support to place right down here. So this whole piece above the road is just hanging into the sky. I did have to remove the road, first place this thing, then remove the pillar, then place the road back. You know, it fits for right now. You have to imagine, you know, the pillars for it. They're not gonna go right down here, and then, you know, there is a bit of a problem because once again, we cannot fit this onto the road very nicely, and I don't want to have everything floating, but to go underneath the ground. Problem number one, I don't want that. Then comes out here onto this train station, which is fine, then goes here, then go back up, and yeah, I decided to go to the side rather than having it floating. And then it need to go into the ground again, and then I got like this stuff right down here. Now I could have taken care that it would first land onto the ground and then go underneath, so it doesn't have this hillside here, but I'm just gonna take it because another thing, and I wonder how they will do that in Cities Skylines too, is you cannot have it like smooth in the ground without first touching the ground if you don't want any extra ground underneath, which I have right down here. So that is, I just left it in to also show you like what happened. This is like a nice smooth transition into the ground. As you can see, there is no first going down straight part and going down into the ground. So anyways, then I decided, you know, let's leave it underneath the ground, because coming up here, then I have to go down here again, because underneath the ground it's cornering up till here, and then here we have the last train station for, you know, when you go out of this big city. This is fine for what it is. And then I just made this bridge going down this way. It connects us up with the stadium train station, goes along, and then splits up here and there to wherever, right? That's just nice. Partly nice. Okay, so now the fun part comes. This is something that I'm really going to like, because I want to make it realistic as possible. I'm going to try to figure something out, and I'm just going to keep in mind the realism rather than non-realism, as I did several times right down here. Also, I just have to quick mention that I have the idea of what I want to do in this area. I already started doing some stuff. So right down here is going to be the commercial zone. Right down here is going to be another office zone. So what will happen then is that this office zone connects up with this one and then up to that one. Going to be some nice thing down here, because I don't want to have too much traffic going on down here, since the commercial zone here is going to take a lot of that and a lot of that. And then down here I want to have some more residential zone, and for this I just have to see, going to keep in mind we have special buildings to place down, which I really would like to do. And then down here is probably going to be something for another episode, and I'm going to need to work towards the 34,000 so I can also unlock a next tile and slowly but surely work my way this way, because also I'm running out of space for the lining of power, which also need to be moved up to something more nicer and real. Honestly, it was way more troublesome than I thought it would be. In the end I got something down here, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not happy with it, since the thing here with trains is they have been placed a very long time ago, when there were like dirt roads, maybe a little bit of stone road here and there, but there were no highways, there were no bridges, there were no underground type of deal. Maybe, you know, bridges for train track, but the thing is, laying this later on is just a lot more troublesome. So in this case I had to go above ground a lot because of all of this roading. Now I did change here and there some things. Now first I had this off ramp going above this road down here, right? And in order to make the train track pass, I had to do something different. So I had in mind, you know, the train track was here first. It raised up into the sky because there was already certain roading down here going on, and it had to go underneath. So the ground has been digged out, and then two bridges over it, and then a train track can pass easily, right? It would make sense to have it follow a highway for a bit and not go like throughout the land, because in this case we do not really have opportunities to make something nice out of it, or it has to be done before placing a large section like this, right? So I had to follow along the highway, and then once again I had to put stuff down rather than up, or else the train track couldn't pass down here because of this on-ramp and the whole on-ramps on the highway. It made things also a little bit more ugly. It doesn't turn out as I wanted to because it's all afterward type of deal. Yeah, maybe if I spent a lot of time on it, but it is very cramped up in this section at least. Doesn't go for this, you know, certain things can be removed here. Then I had to go up. I had to keep going up and up and up, and then I can finally connect it up here. Yeah, I want to do things differently in the future, and like I said, I hope in Cities Skylines 2 you can have the train track early in the game rather than this late in the game. And because it's also expensive, the train track, I'm not sure this yet. Let me just take a look, but I can remember it was quite a deal though. Which should be, now we have the transportation income. There should be train track somewhere. Maybe I can just check it out like at the train track itself. The upkeep is 1696 per week, right? And while loading, this guy is 32, so it costs double of these kind of roads. It costs even more than these type of roads. The highways are super expensive. Well, it's the same. It is super expensive though, because if you early in the game lay down a lot of highway, you're going to get in trouble with your money. The same thing goes with train track. You need a lot of train tracks. And I guess the train track is, I wish I could see it somewhere. Maybe here? Yeah, expensive. It costs me 9,000 a week. And that's not just the train stations, I believe. I just need to check it out. Yeah, train stations cost 960 a week. I have 3 of them, so that is not coming up to 9,000. Then I got 1 of these, which along with 3 of these is also not coming up to 9,000. I think more than the half of the cost comes from the train track. So yeah, I hope that is a little bit different in Cities Skylines 2. But it is done right now, so you can go here, you can go there. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is routes. And now I'm... okay, so we do have an option. It would be so ideal if we could go like in a circle type of deal. So I'm going to see if I can just cram in a little piece down here. Alright, I've just been putting the exits of the underground stuff a little bit further away. We connected all of that, so now we can just make like a nice circle if it's possible to do so. And the first thing, I'm just gonna click here and then click there, so that will be a nice line. Then go there and then go back. Is that a... yeah, it does so. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, of course, we need to build a lot more stuff, and especially the housing here will be taking the train here, which is very nice. A couple of housing here. Can people also go from this guy? Yeah, it's just goodies wise, so maybe I would need to cram in another train station. Maybe on this other side though. Alright, I just crammed in a train station to this road and connected it up both ways on here. And or I made like another line, which is... I just that... okay, yeah. There's a purple line, it's gonna go here. Then first gonna go to the stadium. Then goes along to this one. Then that one. So try to use both tracks rather than, you know, making a lot of traffic follow each other. Would be a better idea. Alright, so the next thing that I would like to do is doing some metro lines. Now in this case down here, I'm going to take it a little bit easy. So I'm going to really slope the steep in that kind of crying and complaining. But I can do it right down here. No? Slope the steep, construction. Okay, we're gonna have one here. A one right down there. Another one down here. Ideally, it would be nice if we could have one here too. And I think I have to place the marking, the zoning stuff back onto the road. I mean, let's just do that. There we go. A lot of steep slopes in this thing. Okay, can we then do it right out here? Nope. A lot of steep sloping. Ah, man. To be honest, I'm a little bit annoyed by this episode because a lot of things do not cooperate is not really correct. It's like, oh, we can have outside metro tracks. I'm just seeing that right now. Oh my god, this is turning into a disaster. But let's see, I'm not gonna give up. I want to have one out here, and that's gonna be that. So this case, let's just, can we have that above ground, or is that just tease me? Oh, we can. Well, in this case, it's gonna be underneath the ground for here at least. So let's just connect things up easily, going the other way around. Is that a crazy idea? Alright, so now we have 2 lines. And I'm gonna make this a darker green though. Okay, that should do it. Two different greens going on. We can clearly see like the thing here. That works. So that is our first line. Now I'm going to need to make another line right down here. You might not see a lot of it, but I have created a whole underground metro station. You see all of these little positive green little arrows popping up, so people are quite happy with it. So this is what I got. It's kind of the same type of deal what I've been doing on the other side. One is like a darker green and the other one's supposed to be a bit lighter green, I guess. I didn't accept it for some reason. Maybe right now? Now it did. There we go. Beautiful. So 2-way metro. We got train station set up. I really hope that this will reduce the amount of traffic. Like, people are so happy with it. It just keeps popping up. Now the next thing that is going to need to happen, but I just want to take my time with it a little bit more, is the buses. The buses really is going to need to be done the correct way. And I'm going to need to do a lot of buses though. So if you have any ideas, then let me know down what is going on down here. Then let me know down below into the comment section. And yeah, I'm going to chill down, edit this video, and things should be fine in the next episode.